Hello, I'm Coach Carlisle. Oftentimes I'm asked by parents, what should my child be doing when they're a youth athlete? What should they do when they're a middle school athlete? And what should they do when they're a high school athlete? And I'm going to share with you our construct for long-term athletic development training. I've had the great fortune of speaking all over the world about my favorite topic, and that's youth athletic development. So when we look at our long-term athletic development model, it's broken down into 3 stages. One is the foundation stage, which typically encompasses age groups from 8 to 12 years old. Developmental stage, which is middle school to early high school. Those are kids who are between 12 to 15 years of age. And then lastly, you have the performance stage. Those are the serious high school athletes that aspire to play in college. Now, when we look at these 3 stages, there are corresponding capacities that we want to develop, and it's a corresponding strategy. So for youth athletes, we want to keep them in the game, right? We want youth athletes, when they start in the game, we want them to progress all the way through high school. There's such a huge drop-off with kids after this stage. Well, one of the things that we can do to help permeate that and help to get them going and progressing through their athletic career is 1, low structure. 2, high gamification. Kids love games. We know they're in that video game age and they like competing. And then a lesson plan. We at Carlisle Performance, our lesson plan is immersed in our FAST school, where we work on biomotor skills such as speed, agility, change of direction, hand-eye coordination, just coordinative movements that is done in a gamification type of environment. Nevertheless, they are taught, but it's not mega serious at that point. Then you move into the developmental stages. This is a big drop-off area for kids. Males, typically 13 to 15, females 12 to 14. This is the period that you could consider to be the prepubescent period, and some athletes are going through puberty at this stage. So a lot of things happen. PHV, peak height velocity, PHV, occurs during this stage when athletes go through puberty, and then boys spring up, girls typically spring up, and there's some things that affects their body. And therefore, we want to make sure during this stage that we're focused on moderate structure, moderate gamification, and program exercises. Being very intentional about the movements that they're doing. We want to identify the low-hanging fruit at this point. In other words, when kids go through that peak height velocity stage, well, puberty stage, a lot of different things happen. And so we want to make sure that we address areas that kids need to be able to elevate and improve their overall athletic performance. And then finally, we get to the performance stage. Just the kids who are real serious about sports. They're playing high school, they aspire to be a starter, or they aspire to play in college. It's highly structured, low gamification. It's cold-blooded series at this point for the kids, and it's periodized. Periodized simply means structured planning. When you actually organize the training process and you're working on various aspects, whether it be strength, power, speed, movement, and so forth, conditioning, metabolic, their skills, all that stuff is encompassed into a periodized plan where the goal is you have a desired outcome that you want an athlete to achieve at 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, and you reverse engineer things. You structure the training plan such that you're working on those qualities, right? You have the goal of being able to attain, let's say the goal is to improve speed, and then now you work backwards throughout the calendar year to address those items so that, I always believe a productive season doesn't occur by accident. Nevertheless, the same thing occurs with working on specific athletic capacities. So I wanted to share our long-term athletic development model. There's many, many pieces to it, but just to give you an overview that there is a structure to it, and hopefully you can use this framework for your athletes to benefit from.